friends, welcome. You just caught me measuring out 1/4 of a cup of some heavy whipping cream that I'm going to be using in this recipe today. This dish is inspired by my friend Colleen, who is a flight attendant, and she was just here spending Mother's Day with me last weekend, and we went through old down memory lane, and she reminded me of a trip that we had took to Bergamo, which is in northern Italy. We had a terrific time, and I'm going to tell you all the things that we did while we were there. But today I'm going to be making, in remembrance of that trip into Italy and in Colleen, my truly groovy tomato and basil tart. I think you're going to love it. Matter of fact, I don't think it, I know you're going to love it. It's got really fresh flavors and it's just dynamite. So I want to show you some things we're going to be using. We're going to be using some heavy whipping cream. I just measured out 1/4 of a cup of prepared pesto. And this one is actually basil, garlic, and Parmesan cheese. I love those flavors together. It's going to be awesome in this dish. I also have 2 vine-ripe tomatoes that are going to go in this dish as well. And then our main, of course, big deal, Philadelphia cream cheese mixed with the pesto is awesome. The flavors together is just right on point. You're going to love it. And also we're going to be using Kraft's 5 cheese blend to top on top of all of this. So I want to get started right now. I'm going to put some Philadelphia cream cheese already in cream together. I want them to the Philadelphia cream cheese to mix. But anyway, about my friend Colleen. Now, my friend Colleen has been a flight attendant for a little while, but she also is suffering from kidney disease. So she lost her kidneys when she was younger, and now the kidney that she had replaced is now it's come to its term, and so she's in the process of waiting for another kidney to be donated to her. And she's just so inspiring to me because she goes through so much on a day-to-day basis just to clean her blood. And I really thank God for her and thank God that she's in my life. And I'm glad that we got to take that trip to Bergamo. Anyway, this is finished creaming together. I need to set this aside for a little while so that it can cool down. It's cooled down now. Now I'm just going to add the pesto to my Philadelphia cream cheese. And then I'm going to blend that together. And, well, we took a train ride. Once our plane landed, we took a train ride to Bergamo. And when we got to Bergamo, actually it was probably about a 45-minute ride. And when we got to Bergamo, we stepped out and we seen like soccer fields and a few shops, not that many. It wasn't much to the city. Okay, next it's time to prepare our puff pastry sheet. And I have lightly floured my cutting board here that I'm going to roll out the puff pastry. This is only a half of a sheet. Out of the box, because it usually comes with 2 to a box, so I'm only using 1 sheet. Now back to my trip. After we got out, after we looked around and we didn't see much, we looked over and we seen a fort. So we walked up the fort, and when we got to the top of the fort, it was more shops, believe it or not, which was good for me because I like to go shopping. And also there was restaurants and a library. And so we decided, after a while, after we looked around for a while, we decided we were going to go ahead and eat lunch. Okay, we decided to go ahead and eat lunch in front of the library. And so we had all different kinds of hors d'oeuvres. We also had desserts. Oh my God, the desserts was just divine. I mean, I just wish I had some of those desserts to this day. Anyhow, we sat there and we talked for such a long time, catching up on all times. Before we knew it, it was evening. And all of a sudden, we seen this really bright light. And, oh, okay, I have this rolled out right now. And I want to show you the next step because we're going to be scoring the puff pastry. And you just use just a regular little knife like this. And the scoring process, you just actually put like a border. So we're going to go 1/4 of an inch around the puff pastry and create a border. But we don't want to go cut all the way through. We just want to lightly cut and go around it. 1/4 of an inch around from the edge. This is called a score line, what we're doing. And what's going to happen is when it cooks, what I'm wanting to happen is the edges is going to puff up and the inside actually is going to stay flat, and I'm going to use the prongs of a fork and I'm going to prick the inside, not going through, and that's going to keep the puff pastry from rising. And you just go all the way around. Okay, back to my story. Well, once it became evening, we seen this bright light coming from the side, and so we looked over the balcony, and after we looked over the balcony, we seen the whole city was lit up. People were out, people were everywhere actually, and it was just a beautiful scene. The soccer field was lit. I think they had a game going on at the time, and it was just the ambiance, just the entire scenery was just something to die for. It was just really, really pretty, a really, really quaint little city or village, and I had a wonderful time. I'm going to now move the puff pastry to, because it's going to be harder to move if I don't do this now, but I have a parchment paper lined cookie sheet, and I'm just going to move this over there at this point. Okay? And I do want you to see the score lines of what I'm talking about. Okay, now we're getting our tomatoes together for the dish. I'm cutting the tomatoes into 1/4 of an inch slices so that we can place them on our puff pastry sheet. What I want to do is just kind of pat them and get some of the fluid off of them so that I can season them with salt and pepper. I really love the flavor of tomatoes. I can just eat tomatoes with just salt. Okay, the next part to finishing this, which we're almost done here before we can bake it off, is you do want to have your oven preset to 425 degrees because that's what we're going to bake this at. And I'm laying, as you can see, I'm laying the Philadelphia cream cheese basil mixture inside of the score line, which is inside that 1/4 of an inch border that we put there. And when this melts, this is going to just be so yummy. I just know it's, I just can't. Okay, next what I'm going to do is I'm going to brush my egg wash, which is just one egg I did, and I just scrambled it up into this bowl. And now I'm just going to brush my edge of the puff pastry with the egg wash so that it'll create a really pretty golden color around the edge that's going to be puffed up, and it makes a really, really good presentation with this dish. So the next thing we want to do, which is almost the last thing, is we want to arrange the tomatoes onto our dish. The thing I'm going to do before I put it in the oven is I'm going to put the 5 cheese parmesan, which is about 1/4 of a cup that I'm getting ready to lay across the top. Okay, that's enough cheese, even though I probably would put a little bit more on there for me because that's just how I am. But nevertheless, I'm going to stick this in the oven. I'm going to bake this for about 24 to 27 minutes, depending on your oven. Taking it out the oven, and now I'm just going to brush the edges with some butter. And last but least, I have about 3 or 4 basil leaves here that I'm getting ready to chef on, and that I'm going to put on top. If you ever get a chance to go to Italy, you should make sure you stop by the city of Bergamo. I think you would really like it there. It's really pretty there. And hopefully one day I'll get to go back and visit again. And I'm topping the top of the tart with the basil. It is such a pretty presentation, and I finished the tart. So the only thing left is for me to gobble it up, because that's what I want to do right now. It just smells so good. I wish you were here because it just smells awesome, and I am ready to dig in. So I'm ready to cut it. It's time for me to eat the tart, and it's so pretty. This dish is so awesome, you guys. You have to make it. I want you to make it. I want to hear your comments on it. Thank you, Paula Dean. Thank you, Philadelphia Cream Cheese, for allowing me to do this. Thank you, my wonderful friends, for watching. I can't wait to see you again. Try this dish. Try it. Enjoy it. Trust me, you're going to like it. Enjoy the dish. And have a great day. See you later.